Hello dear learners, I hope you all are high in spirit, you all are enthusiastic, you all are using this crisis period into an opportunity. And in the same lieu, today I, NIDHI MISHRA, welcome you all here on the platform which is an online platform, and I welcome you all to Amit Sinha IS Academy. So this is one platform where we are converting our crisis into an opportunity. So with this view, let me discuss today, let me tell you that what I am going to discuss today. As in my previous lectures, we have already talked on caste, tribe, family, kinship, right? So we are now going to link it. We will be looking into all these dimensions through the help of a UPSC question, right? But before that, I just want to mention here that, and I want you to make you all understand that my lectures are going to be useful for students who are writing their GS paper 1, and as well as for the students who are taking sociology as their optional. So because I want to make it into a syncretic form, because I believe in synergy of two ideas. So I don't want that one section of UPSC aspirants should not be left behind, because you need to understand that the social issue is a very important component of your GS paper 1, and so it is for sociology even, right? So it is going to be useful for both of you. In the same with the same belief, today I am going to take up one question which is asked on caste in 2018. And on that basis, I'll be discussing today understanding of caste by GHURYE. It's a perspective given by GHURYE on caste, which is very important to understand. There are certain perspectives on caste given by various thinkers that we need to understand. So first we'll begin with GHURYE, and then we'll take up other thinkers such as Andre Bete or Emil Sridivas. So I just want to put up here today one question which has been asked in 2018. Let's be focused on it. It asks, caste system is assuming new identities and associational forms. Hence, caste system cannot be eradicated in India. Comment. So we need to understand that you being a civil services aspirant, your understanding about caste is different from any lay person. If you ask about caste system to any common person, he or she would be able to answer it. But understanding it from the dimension of social issue, understanding it from the perspective of a sociology student, it is going to be different. Now you have to understand in this, the question is asking that how the caste system is still existent even in modern time, and it is yet assuming new identities and associational forms. So how the caste system is, basically it is asking that how the caste system is changing its face, right? And how it is giving rise to new identities, and how these new identities are actually linked to associational forms. So here we need to understand that caste system is one social system which is unique to Indian society. It's a pervasive system. It's a pervasive social system which is hierarchical, which is segmental, and which is very unique to Indian society, right? And since time immemorial, we know caste, right? The existence of caste. But here we need to understand that how in past the caste, what kind of face caste had in past, and how the face of caste has changed in present time. So the caste is usually it is compared with chameleon, that how chameleon changes its color according to its context. Same is caste. That caste is changing its face with time and space, right? So as the situation, as the context is changing, so as the caste identity. So understand here that in past, caste identity used to play a very prominent role, even in village, right? Even in village, people used to identify themselves with their caste identity, right? So even their occupation, even the occupation was actually decided with their caste identity. But now it is not so. And we all know that in India, the advent of modernity we associate with the advent of Britishers, the British rule, right? So maybe pros and cons of it that I'm not going to discuss. But as with the advent of British rule, we assume, we take up that it also started the time of modernity, the phase of modernity, right? Because we got exposed to various foreign scholars, their writings, and the various knowledge which was being dispensed out from the abroad. So when we understand in this way, we see that even with the modern ideas, even with the advent of education, even with the advent of new ideas and new belief system, the caste as a social institution is still playing its prominent role in Indian society, but with a changed identity. Now, what is that changed identity? In ancient India, for example, caste influenced each individual in his or her every sphere. In economic sphere, in political sphere, in economic sphere. So in all the sphere, it actually dominated, it influenced, right? Not only in the domestic sphere, it has its larger prominence, but in all the sphere, both in public as well as in private. For example, I would give you here that the famous Narkatiyas of South India, the banking system in ancient India was actually flourishing, or was organized around the caste system, and the caste which was involved in this banking system named Narkatiyas. It is mentioned in your NCRT, and this question has also been taken straight away from the NCRT as well. So the Narkatiyas, the banking system which was organized in ancient India, in past India, on the basis of caste ideology, on the basis of caste identity. But this is this is in the present time has changed. The specific caste who involved in banking system maybe in present time are not into the same occupation, right? So you need to understand here the particular caste who used to take up their specified occupation, now it is not happening. With the advent of modernity, with the advent of urbanization, what is happening in the era of post-globalization, what is happening? People are migrating. Migration बहुत large scale पे हो रहा है. So people migrate to urban areas for their job opportunities, for their betterment of life, for their better life chances, quote unquote, what Max Weber says. So in urban areas, what is happening? The caste identity is little bit diluting. It is not vanishing, but it is being diluted. It is being diluted because now the jobs are not assigned on the basis of caste identity. If suppose a worker wants to work into a jute mill, for example, suppose the worker moves to Bengal, West Bengal, or Kolkata, and there he or she wants to work into a jute factory, a jute mill. So there he or she would be assigned the role, the job according to the skill the person is possessing. Here the caste identity is not playing a prominent role, right? So it's taking a new identity, right? And with the new associational form, various thinkers, even GHURYE talks about the changing face of caste system in early 20th century. He also mentions it, that how the caste is taking its new face, its new identity, how it is actually giving rise to new political associations which are based on caste identity. For example, the formation of Bahujan Samaj Party, or even many organizations based on caste, for example, Vaishya Sabha. So these are actually the organizations which are based on caste identity, but also at the dispense of individual need, right? So here we need to understand that the new associational forms are actually strengthening your caste consciousness more. In the other way we can say that. So the caste identity is also used as a caste calculus. because the political parties are using for their own benefit. At the same time, this caste identity is also used for various better opportunities. For example, we can see it in the lieu of the agitation done by taken up by Jat, the agitation taken up by other caste groups for demanding their share of reservation, right? So these are all new associational forms. Earlier people somewhere used to disguise themselves in the caste identity, but today now people want to go with their caste identity, and especially people from people from lower caste, they want to enforce their caste identity in order to get benefit out of it, in order to grab the cultural and economic capital which they have been deprived in the past. So this is how the caste is still prevalent. And as G.S. GHURYE says that the very 6 features of caste, the very 6 features of caste is still very much intact. Though many changes have taken place, but the 6 features are still intact. So what are the 6 features? The 6 features, the first is segmental division of caste. It is hierarchical. There is less choice of occupation. There is restriction on commensality, endogamy. So these are the features which are still intact. So we see that even with the process of Sanskritization, with the process of Sanskritization, it has brought positional change. It hasn't brought any structural change. So here with an emphasis I can say that the very hierarchical structure is the caste system is still very pervasive in Indian society. Right? So that is how you need to present it. You need to present it how it was in ancient time, it was in past India, how the caste is changing its face, changing its dimension, changing its role in present India. Yet it is very much persistent in present India by linking it to the 6 features which are given by G.S. GHURYE. So here it comes the importance of understanding from the perspective of any sociologist, right? So now let's start G.S. GHURYE. So when I say G.S. GHURYE, so G.S. GHURYE, when the name comes, it is very, it gives you, if you have a little bit of understanding about with sociology or even with GS, I would say that the person, the name, whenever the name is taken G.S. GHURYE, we associate him with national ideology, and also his works on tribe, specifically caste and tribe. So G.S. GHURYE was born in 1893, and he is the person who is endowed with establishing sociology as an institutional discipline. Okay, so he is the one who has actually who has believed in doing sociology, not just reading sociology. So he has actually interlinked, he has mixed both teaching sociology as well as doing sociology. That is your experience with the textbook and also your experience with the field study. So teaching and also researches are mixed here in the works of G.S. GHURYE. G.S. GHURYE was a famous Indologist who has given various perspective on a strong perspective on tribe. I would say, I would not say various, I would say tribe. Tribes, for example, because we cannot, whenever we are discussing G.S. GHURYE on caste, we cannot dissociate ourselves from explaining his understanding on tribe, which I would do just in few lines. So he believes that tribes are actually the backward Hindus. Okay, so as the larger Hindu society is backward, so are the tribes, and they are more backwards. So we need to modernize them. Over this view, he actually stood against Verrier Elwin. Verrier Elwin, the famous Britisher, he said that the tribes should be left isolated in order to protect their specific ethnic characteristic. But G.S. GHURYE said that no, they have been into the process of assimilation right from the ancient period, and so they should be brought into the mainstream Hindu society. So we need to modernize them, quote unquote. That is what was the view of G.S. GHURYE on tribe. Many of us will not maybe take away with his understanding, but this was his understanding on tribe. Now he spoke on caste. Caste and race in India, which it was his PhD thesis, doctoral thesis, which he did in Cambridge University, and later it got published in the form of book. So in this he has actually talked about the origin of caste system and the various features. Right? He has also talked about various features of caste system. So, but before that, I would like to mention here that G.S. GHURYE has mentioned very clearly that caste system being a unique system to India, this has always fascinated the scholars from abroad to study it, you know. So many foreign scholars have given many theories. For example, Nesfield has developed occupational theory. For example, Risley has given racial theory on the origin of caste. For example, Senat, the famous Senat, Hutton and Senat, he has given a commensality theory on the origin of caste. But all of these theories were not substantiated with scientific or on reason belief. So G.S. GHURYE also discarded them all, rejected them all, saying that we cannot understand caste just on the basis of occupation, right? Because even in past India, in early India, actually people were not so particular about their occupation, and there was not so much rigidity in ancient India in changing the occupation. He gives example here that in ancient India, the Aryans used to perform various rituals in which everybody used to participate. This is what he mentioned here, that you cannot understand caste with one specific feature. But yes, in developing his own theory on origin of caste, G.S. GHURYE has also taken many points, many support, many ideas from the theories which has already been built up in past. So when we understand GHURYE, we need to understand him from three standpoints. Okay, and the first standpoint is, the first you need to catch the word, it is he speaks on origin of caste first. Second, he speaks on comparative analysis of caste. Second, and third, he speaks on changing caste system in early 20th century. So these are the three divisions where we need to understand. So the first dimension, let's take up. He speaks on origin of caste. So he says that he first refutes all the theories which are being associated, and then he says, he develops his own origin of caste in relation to Aryans. He said that there is a commonality between the Greeks and Latins and the Europeans and Aryans. They are actually of common racial stock. And he says that Aryans came to India and they got settled here. And when they got settled here, they also started interbreeding. They started intermarrying, right? And took up various occupation, which actually gave to division of labor. And over the period of time, this division of labor got strengthened with the identity called caste identity. That is what he has developed, his understanding on origin of caste. Now he has spoken in comparative analysis of caste. It is very, very important. And that is what there you need to understand. So when he speaks about comparative analysis of caste, he has given a comparative analysis through his field study. He has taken help of textuals, he has taken help from scriptures. So he has actually created a balance between Indology, historicism, cultural analysis and diffusionism. So bringing them on, synergizing them on, he has given 6 features of caste system. First he gives segmental division of society. He says that caste is divided into segments. Okay, he believes he says that the caste is compartmentalized, right? And when he says that caste is segmental, caste is compartmentalized, it means that it organizes itself on the belief of purity and pollution first, and another on the belief of holism and independence. What I mean to say, that a caste never exists in independence. It never exists in alone. It exists in holism, in togetherness. For example, Brahmin because there are other various castes in the caste system, and also on the basis of purity and pollution. That is, on the basis of purity and pollution, that means you are maintaining your specific feature on the ritual belief pattern, and at the same time you are also intermixing with the specific group, with the specific segments only. So it gives the specific characteristic to the specific group. That is what it is creating a segment. Then he gives second feature, which is hierarchical. फर्स्ट समझ जाओ कि रूम है, एक कमरे का रूम है, एक बिल्डिंग है जिसमें 4 कमरे हैं, एक कमरे में एक कास्ट, दूसरे कमरे में दूसरा कास्ट, तीसरे कमरे में तीसरा कास्ट, चौथे कमरे में चौथा कास्ट. तो ये सेगमेंटलाइज्ड हो गया. ठीक है, अब इसमें हायरार्की है. तो अब ये समझ जाओ कि ये सारे एक फ्लोर पे नहीं है, ये पहला, दूसरा, तीसरा, चौथा ऐसे दर्जे पे. ठीक है, तो हायरार्किकल है. It has a status in the society, and the status is based on caste identity. For example, the Brahmins have been accorded the highest position in the hierarchical ladder of caste system. Then he says that the caste system has certain civil and religious duties and privileges. ये समझो. Certain civil and religious duties क्या है? तो in ancient India, G.S. GHURYE says that certain castes, specifically the untouchables, have experienced discriminatory behavior, right? He says that the caste system and its ill face was more explicit in South India. There the untouchables, specifically the women, were not allowed to cover their upper part. Okay, and also when they used to walk from the road, they either used to bear a branch of a tree on their head so that it becomes prominent that the untouchable is walking from the other side of the road, or if the caste from if a person from upper caste is also passing by on the same road, they have to either lie down immediately, or they just have to clean the road with that branch of a tree, right? So that the smell of the sand is there, and the smell from the body is not polluting the person from the higher caste who is also passing from the road, right? So these are the specific religious duties which a particular caste has to observe in past India. Now we all know that untouchability